bringing it back. Bringing it back.
And a monster home run hit to a place that
hit this popping.
Who would have thought hip-hop would have made it?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of the Rob Durant podcast. The New York Knicks are NBA champs. So by the time you're seeing this, I don't know how much time will have passed. Maybe LeBron went back home to Cleveland. We've already accepted the fact that Mitchell Robinson is going to be gone because of the whole second apron thing with the NBA cap space. But this episode is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be the traditional episode that you guys are used to with the fellas here and all that stuff. I asked them to trust me. I told them, yo, let me cook. Let me do something different. And they did exactly that. So what you're going to be seeing here is almost like a little documentary style, something I've never done, never worked on something like this before. So hopefully it comes out the way I envisioned it. And you guys are able to enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it as I'm putting it together. But I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know we haven't forgot. We're still recording. We're still doing our thing. This just took priority because, come on, it's the New York Knicks. You have heard me say this for years. The New York Knicks keep the lights on in the city. And they did exactly that by winning the NBA championship. The celebration continues. We were at the parade. So you'll see clips of that. You'll see pictures, videos, all that stuff of that, of us being there, feedback, comments, all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy what you're about to see. See you for the next one. Go Knicks.
Fox, 5 seconds remaining. Fox to Wemby. Wemby tries a three, puts it up, off the mark. Anunoby the rebound. It's over. It's over. Knicks fans, this is not a dream. Your long, long wait has ended. The Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Damn. NBA champs. Woo. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks, man. Let's go Knicks. Wow. It's crazy, man, because you think about everything this franchise has been through. You think about the losses, you know, the jokes, the laughingstock of the NBA for years, dealing with the Jerome James and Eddie Currys and Steve Francis at the end of his career, Tracy McGrady at the end of his career. You know, then we had some moments when Amari came in, Melo came in, when Julius Randle came in, and then Jalen Brunson came in. And that just changed everything, eh? But, wow. Seeing the Knicks finally win a championship it is different. Life is just different now as we the champs. We the champions. Like, you can't, it's hard to put into words what it means. And I remember watching the game. I'm in my room with my wife, just watching the game on the TV. I couldn't sit still. I really could not. I'm bouncing back and forth. At one point, I had my shirt off and tied it around my head. For what reason, I have no clue. No clue at all, B. That was just what I did. And I did that, and they started scoring. They were making the comeback in game 4. So I was like, I guess I'm leaving the shirt around my head. And then the OG tip in. And pandemonium. Quiet pandemonium, because I got 2 kids sleeping. But celebrated nonetheless. And then game 5, just seeing, again, that comeback happen. Again, I took my shirt off and tied it around my head. And it was just one of those things, man, that you can't really put into words what it actually means unless you've been through it as a fan. And, you know, growing up a Yankees fan, I saw success, a lot of success. I've seen 5 championships with New York, the most recent one in 2009, though. But with the Knicks, I never experienced this level of success. You know, I saw them in the finals against the Spurs, but they got smacked around. They lost that series 4-1. And to never see them really make a real push to a finals ever since that, up until, the last couple years, and then ultimately winning it this year, it means everything to me as a fan, man. Like, people associate me with the Yankees, and rightfully so, because I'm a big baseball guy. But, you cut me open. I bleed orange and blue too. I'm a big Knicks fan. I'm a big Jets fan. But if you want to rank them in order, it's Yankees, Knicks, Jets. It's always been that way. And I ride and die with my Knicks, no matter what the roster looks like. And yeah, I know this from the podcast episodes. I've always said the Knicks keep the lights on in the city. That hasn't changed. That never will change. That's just the way it is. And it's just a beautiful thing to see.
The New York Knicks actually did it, man. They actually finished the story. They are the 2026 NBA champions. I'm honestly at a loss for words, and I still can't believe it. But for starters, I just start thinking about my childhood and like the joy that the team was bringing me in spurts, especially like when Larry Johnson hit that 4-point play in those Eastern Conference Finals. As a kid at the time in '99, I thought, man, this is a team of destiny, because in that same playoff run, Allen Houston also hits a beautiful, I guess you could call it a push shot or a teardrop over Tim Hardaway's Miami Heat, Tim Hardaway Sr., and to eliminate the first place team in the East at the time. But, y'all already know the rest of that story. The Knicks went on to lose against the Spurs. They pretty much didn't have a shot because Ewing got injured. But that was just my starter pack of heartbreaks being a Knicks fan, After that came the Amari Stoudemire time, Stephon Marbury, Carmelo Anthony, Jeremy Lin, the Linsanity days, the Nate Robinson giving us reason to cheer and entertaining us. But all of those Knicks teams, they didn't give us a lot of reason to cheer when it came to winning an actual championship. And now with this recent team, I would like to say a good 3 to 4 years, like really watching this team. And I've been really paying attention to this Brunson era. And it's just been amazing to watch.
I don't think I've ever seen New York City as hype and as united as I have in maybe 10, 15 plus years, since maybe the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, or even when the Yankees won the World Series, I believe in like 2009 or whatever it may be. But yeah, like the Knicks, man, I was down there in the crowd. I was going down into the crowd and the chaos during like their games against the Sixers, against the Cavaliers, and definitely in the finals. I was down there at least 2 to 3 games, especially the last game where we won. I was down there, and man, that was a night to remember, man. I haven't seen New York City turn into Gotham like that in a joyous moment ever. So personally, that shit was amazing. And all in all, that shit was amazing. It was a once in a lifetime experience. If you're not from here, if you don't live here, you wouldn't even know or can put into words the things that you saw and the energy that was here. Especially for such a long time. Like New York City, I felt like the energy and the life was sapped out of it for whatever reason. The pandemic, one I keep going back to 9/11. After 9/11, everything changed here, and I feel this is the most I've seen New York feel like New York since then, since 9/11. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's like the complete opposite of the spectrum of 9/11 to how we feel right now in the city. And like no one's gonna be able to take that away for us for the next year. So it's up this summer, this winter, Knicks in 5, man.
One thing I noticed with this team from the jump was that they just have so much grit, and the players love to rally behind Brunson and like just play for him, and like they just had a never quit attitude. a never die attitude. And that's what I'm mostly going to remember about this team, is the camaraderie that they have for one another and how special a team can become once they play for each other and once they have a never quit attitude, and they'll just tell themselves that they will find a way. Like, that's just what this team has, that's something that I've always strived to be. I've always strived to become a person like that, a grinder, a never give up person like that. Those are qualities that I've always admired since I was a child. And the fact that this team is manifesting that, or manifested this, is just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch. And this team is so likable. That's another thing I'm gonna remember about this team. How likable they are, Like, it's easy to root for this team. So easy.
The way I will remember this team in this run is just resilience and heart. No matter how small people say you are, or maybe not how smart or whatever, if you have the heart and discipline to chip away and give it your maximum effort, good things can happen, man. And just not giving up. A lot of people get demoralized or discouraged when things don't go their way. It's when things don't go your way is when you have to give it your all to get the outcome that you want, or at least are pursuing. And it's like the quote that Jalen Brunson said, man. Like, you can look at the worst possible situation, but you still got to do something about it, right? So people need to embrace that and just go with it. And that's what the Knicks embody, man. Like, they were faced against a really tough team that beat the former champions, and then they looked at the alien in the face and said, I'm gonna go through you to get what I want. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm never going to forget that. For somebody who's also small structured or statured, and people often tell me or look down on me, if it wasn't because you were so short or whatever, whatever they envision, right? Because everybody thinks that being so big and tall is the best thing in the world. But, you can't measure somebody's heart. And misconceptions of what people think, or their perceptions of what people think. You can't measure nobody's heart. And that's something that I'm going to take away from this New York Knicks run. You couldn't measure our heart, man. You guys underestimated us, and we made y'all pay for it.
I think my favorite moment from this whole run is just, obviously, them winning was a big thing. We went to the parade, which is dope. But to be able to share this experience with my brother, who's a lifelong Knicks fan, big brother, sup, Lewis? Shout out to you, bro. The moment the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson and we started seeing them do well again and all this other stuff, make playoffs consistently, I told him straight up, I said, yo, bro, when the Knicks win, we're going to the parade. I don't care what day it is. I don't care if we work. We out to the parade. And he was all in. And the moment, he was the first person I texted when the Knicks won the championship. And I said, bro, we're going to New York. And that was it, man. Just being able to share that moment with him, be in New York City with him, where we both grew up. And to just be around that energy, that Knicks energy, just hearing the cheering, the chants, and it's different, bro. Woo! That's probably my favorite moment, though, just being there with my brother. And at one point, I just stepped back, and I don't even think he noticed this. But I stepped back, and I just watched him, feel. And it felt like he was a little kid in a candy store type of thing. The way he was excited and the way he looked, it was just like, damn, the Knicks did that. The Knicks did that. That wasn't anything but the Knicks, man. But yeah, that's probably my favorite moment, being able to share that with my brother. And the way I remember this team and this championship, it's been 53 years. We don't know if they'll go back to back. Obviously, NBA is what they do. But one thing I remember is how relentless this team was. They had a never give up attitude. And I know a lot of question marks started at the start of the season. with firing Tibbs and, what this roster is going to look like, how JB and Cat are going to coexist with each other, what kind of role Bridges is going to be playing this year. There's a lot of criticism with him in those picks, and we already know F them picks. We don't care. What kind of role Josh Hart is going to play now in a different type of offense and a different type of defense with Mike Brown taking the role of head coach. And one thing that we saw was the defense is what the defense is. But what we saw was a different level of offense with the Knicks, and it took some time for them to get used to it. We saw the Hawks series. They lost 2 games, and all of a sudden it was like, boom, brand new team, different team. They swept everyone else. They swept the Sixers. They swept the Cavs. Analytically and all, we swept the Cavs. Don't let nobody tell you different. And it was just one of those things that you look at and you're just like, yo, this team just never gave up. They could have been down by 5. They could have been down by 30. Literally 30. And they still find a way to win. And I remember for game 4, I didn't get to see the start of the game. I had a softball game that day. By the time the game ended, it was going into halftime. And I remember texting the guys and I'm like, yo, y'all about to see the greatest comeback we've ever seen in NBA history. And, I get home, shower, that's, shirt off, tied around my head as they're making this comeback. And it was just that, bro. Just how relentless. And, the mayor said it at the parade. This team represented, they didn't win for New York, they won like New York. We're a city that never gives up. It's the concrete jungle where dreams are made of. It's exactly what it is. New York City is a relentless city. We're a relentless group of people. And you can tell us we're not good enough. You can tell us we ain't going to do it. You can tell us whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's all here, man. And we're going to find a way. We're going to do what we do. And we're going to win. And that's exactly what this New York Knicks team represented. It represented the city better than any other team I've ever seen, man.
Man, I'm so proud to be a Knicks fan. So proud. So proud of this team. And let's see if we can repeat next year. It'll be a tall task, but that's never stopped this Knicks team before.
New York Knicks, NBA champs. New York Knicks, NBA champions. That hits different, B. That hits different. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Damn. Let's go Knicks, baby. Cesar, ¿qué es lo que? What's your thoughts about today, bro?
Epic, bro. Epic.
The vibes were immaculate.
Vibes were amazing.
Yo, Lewis, let him know.
Yeah. Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.